maximum tension, and that's where it's going to create a lot of their pain. Thomas test that most of you are familiar with, lying on the back on the table, the legs over the edge, one knee is held towards the chest, dropping down, you're looking at flexibility in that hip flexor, and again, that mechanism is well documented to influence a lot. Hip internal and external rotation. This loss of internal rotation is a good indication that you either have some weakness or significant tightness in those external rotators that are going to create a problem. Hamstring flexibility. The tighter the hamstrings are, the more work it's going to be to the quad or for the quad to fully extend that knee. And the more work it is to do that, the more pressures are created on that kneecap. Flexibility, very, very important. That's also going to influence the position of the low back and how effective that psoas is in controlling some things. And then gastroc and soleus flexibility. You guys are well aware, if someone doesn't have dorsiflexion, there's no way they're going to be able to get down into a good deep squat or even get into a mid squat with good position without some compensation. So all those areas are pretty key. The quad VMO firing pattern, someone asked me, I think Trevor was mentioning that Boyle isn't a big fan of the step-up exercise whenever anyone has knee pain. And the main reason is it immediately causes some pain. They have some issues that they're not able to control, and why would you put someone through that unless you're really working on sort of correcting a lot of things before you have them do that. It's a great exercise for people that don't have knee pain, but most likely it's going to cause that knee pain. So what we're looking when we're doing a step up to maintain that alignment, the symmetry as they're doing that, their ability to fire that vastus medialis, and how fluid they are in the movement, or if it's a real jerky movement to get up. Now what you want to look at is that VMO should be active through the movement. They used to think VMO was really active in that last 30 degrees. Incorrect. It should be active throughout the full range. It has to be active to counteract the lateral musculature. That's like saying the bicep is only active when you can see it when you get past 90 degrees and it starts to flex. It's the same thing with the VMO. It's ridiculous. Alright, counterbalance to that VL. It's prone to inhibition like we talked about. Low-grade swelling will selectively attack that VMO and inhibit it, so that creates a problem. The maximal balance is actually at that 60-degree position. So the thing is, when you're getting down in this position, if you can get people in that position, that's the ideal position to have people try to maintain some things, to do some work if you're doing an isometric exercise or really working on some core. The only problem is people with pain, it's tough to get them there. So that's one of those situations where the EMG tells you this is the best position, but most people can't even get there because it's too painful. Patellar taping, like I said, we use both mecanal taping and kinesio taping to really decrease pain. Studies have shown that it increases the activation because it creates a better balance in that medial lateral musculature. Now the functional training, the way we look at it, we try to make it multi-planar, so you're not just working on the sagittal plane but doing everything together, incorporating things like the balance discs or the AirX pads, to create neuromuscular efficiency and force production in all joints, and that's where you get that whole kinetic chain working for you. The force reduction, so someone coming down, it's usually going to be that eccentric phase where they don't have that strength, and that's where you really want to put a lot of the effort. That's why some controlled pliers are great. That stabilization, they have to be able to stabilize to be able to produce that force, and that's where a lot of people lose it. They don't have that eccentric strength. They get down, they blow way past the position they should to be able to stabilize, and they can't adequately produce the force. They compensate, leads to injury. All right, now we'll go through ACLs.
Terry, let me ask you a quick question.
Yep.
At the time, do you want to save ACL for next week because we still have to go over the lift?
Yep, we can do that. Is that okay?
I think that way we spend a little more time on that because I'd like to get a little more information.
All right, and then we'll go over some of the other ligaments.
Yeah.
Any questions about the patellofemoral disorders? Very, very, very common. I mean, that's a primary thing. I know we've had some people in here with osteoarthritis, and the amazing thing is people with osteoarthritis can do very, very well with proper strength training. I mean, people can be very painful, and it's like, what are you doing here? I mean, it's ridiculous. And I've even been amazed at how well people have done. If you look at that kinetic chain, you start working on everything from the core to the hips, and you gradually go down. Someone comes in with an inflamed knee and everything, absolutely not. Do you want to start attacking the knee? Let's do quad hams right away. You'd work away. You might have them do some calf raises, work below. Then you might do some core and some hip work above. It's the same thing we do in rehab. Then when they can control that, then you start introducing a little bit of the quad and hamstring work. That's how we approach a problem joint. And you guys hit it from a different view, but it's a very, very similar philosophy. And the stuff that you guys do, hitting all parts of the kinetic chain, are exactly how we want to approach it.